Hey there, this is Coins Alert. It looks like Ripple just dropped another $25 million to protect XRP. So this is what Cointelegraph said in their title. Before the US midterm elections, Ripple adds another $25 million to the Fair Shake pack. Of course, I get that since we're talking about a pack, Ripple doesn't have direct power over what happens here. But if it weren't doing what Ripple, if there were things that were good for Ripple, let's say in terms of XRP, Ripple might have turned off the tap. If you get what I mean, and not invested anymore. In that case, yes, that is a factor. We shouldn't be too naive here. But the truth is that Ripple is only doing this because of XRP. Let's get this over with right away. They have the most XRP than anyone else. They also wouldn't have a reason to do any of this if they didn't keep any cryptocurrency. So this is really just to protect XRP in the end. Speaking of which, I have to say that it's great to see a giant like Ripple, one of the biggest, most successful and well-known crypto companies and one of the first to use cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology, throwing real money at something like this. They have a huge war chest of cash, and I know that this is something that will benefit all XRP holders and by extension the whole crypto ecosystem. Again, if they weren't doing things that were good for the XRP ecosystem, Ripple wouldn't be doing this. This is one of the perks, no matter what you think about Ripple having a lot of XRP. For myself, I've never given a damn. This is something I've known since before I bought my first XRP. It doesn't bother me because I know that it doesn't give Ripple any extra control over the XRP system. It doesn't matter because it's not a proof of stake deal, but now we're seeing one of the real rewards. That being said, I do have a problem with this, even though it is impressive and possibly very good overall. I do have a problem with Fair Shake. I'm not happy about something that didn't happen, especially before the election, but before I go any further, I want to make things clear. There is no money history of any kind for me. I'm not giving you financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of what I write or say. Actually, I'm just an amateur who likes making YouTube movies about crypto as a hobby and for fun. Okay, thus far, the blockchain payments company Ripple has made yet another major donation to help change the outcome of the 2016 US elections. Ripple is one of the biggest backers of Fair Shake, a political action committee PAC. And on November 26th, ex-post Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, said that the company would give $25 million to Fair Shake to help support crypto-friendly, growth-friendly, and innovation-friendly candidates in future US elections. Before the 2024 elections, Ripple gave $45 million to the PAC. Along with cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase, Jump Crypto, and Andreessen Horowitz, it is one of Fair Shake's biggest donors. So, you think the election is over. Where did the money go? Yes, there will be more elections in the future, including midterm elections in a couple of years. They plan to stay on this path, at least for now. That is clearly their goal here. Wow, that's really cool. It also made me think of something I've been yelling for the whole campaign season. It's that there isn't a group of people who are against crypto. It is not real. There is no group of voters who are vehemently against crypto, and that will not change how they vote. It is not real. The Democrats tried to appeal to a group of voters that didn't exist, which never made sense. On the other hand, he had the Republican Party, which has accepted crypto so much that it's now kind of like a party platform. They are also serving. They've been smart all through this election cycle. To the crypto brass, like you and me, right? They have been. Because voters like us will actually vote based on that because we have a stake in the outcome and care. Then there are companies like Ripple that have huge war chests and are pushing back against the Democratic Party, but not all the way. You'll see that I'm not going to talk about that all, but it's bad. Overall, it's clear that it's bad for the Democrats. Being against crypto means that a lot of money is being thrown into the election that wouldn't be going after you otherwise. Do you get what I mean? So yesterday, Brad Garlinghouse wrote a post in which he said that Fair Shake is the most successful multi-candidate nonpartisan super PAC in U.S. history. It's clear that people who support crypto growth and innovation should be elected. Ripple is also giving another $25 million to Fair Shake to keep the movement going. Then Stuart Alderati, who is Ripple's top legal officer, posted that again and wrote this. Ripple promised to be a top backer of Fair Shake when it first started, but no one knew what kind of effect it would have. Now we're giving $25 million to the most successful PAC in U.S. history for the third time in as many years. We will stay a strong force in D.C. for many years to come. Okay, so I'm in favor if they're really nonpartisan. But there are people who are not sure. Case in point, this post from Chip. He is from On the Chain on YouTube. He also sent this public message to Brad Garlinghouse and said the following. Fair Shake has shown itself to be a biased group, which is a shame. With almost all of its money going to help Democrats. It's interesting that Fair Shake, which says it backs crypto-friendly politicians, didn't back John Deaton, who was running against one of the most crypto-unfriendly people in Congress. For the next election, it's important to check pro-crypto PACs more carefully to make sure they really support the goals of the community. So folks, that's what I didn't like about them in the primary. They didn't back John Deaton. That is unbelievable. So, I was reading a story about this subject. My guess is that it came from Axios. I don't have a link to this video, but I think this story from Axios said that Fair Shake didn't support John Deaton and throw money at him because they didn't think he had a chance of winning. That's a bad way to think because John got closer than anyone thought was possible. That's what I mean. Let me explain. Yes, it did happen. Maybe it was this year. Yes, this is what I need to get. So here are some election statistics and the findings of the vote. And this is really, really amazing. Look at this. Okay, John Deaton. In Massachusetts to run against Elizabeth Warren for Senate, 40% of the votes went to him. As you might guess, that means Elizabeth Warren got 60%. That is 40%. One could say that's a pretty big difference. But look at this. This is really cool. What party people in Massachusetts belong to? Only 27% of people are Republicans or lean Republican. 27% of the people who live in Massachusetts. That's it. That's 27%. And John Deaton got 40% of the vote. What do you think? You might have had a different result if more PACs like Fair Shake had backed him, endorsed him, and maybe even given him some extra money. Why John Deaton? Everything he did was amazing and impressive. Plus, I don't think anyone else could have done a better job. He really liked her. My God, it's amazing how much support he got from famous people. And he actually spent millions of dollars to help him beat Warren in the election. There is, however, a process in place for Democrats that works even then. Also, Warren, my God, I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, so I might be wrong, but I'm sure she made at least tens of millions of dollars. It was a little unfair in terms of the money. That was a defeatist way of thinking then. And to see John Deaton get that close in that setting, maybe if they hadn't been so down on themselves and had put some money out there, that might have helped. Really, though, if they said, we just don't think it's worth it, that would be disgusting. They even thought it wasn't a waste, as you can see. Take a look at this July story. Apple gives Deaton $1 million to help him win the Senate race against Warren. That's the right way to do it. Like Fair Shake, if you have the money, you back the right people. You do it. Now, let's talk about Chip's other point. Of course, his other point that they mostly vote for Democrats is true, but it doesn't give the whole picture. So I looked at the data myself because it turns out that this is where all of human information is stored. I searched for this on Google and found this, which has the real info. So in a way, it is true. This blue bar right here shows how much money was spent on Democrats. Then there's this amount of money that Republicans spent. It looks like more money went to Democrats. I'm going to use round numbers, but about $14 million was spent to help Democrats and only about $13.5 million was spent to help Republicans. Or, I'm sorry, that's not the right one. There are only about 13.1 million Republicans. Okay, now, that sounds uneven for reasons that should be pretty clear. Okay, you know that the Democrats and almost every candidate in their party are against crypto if you've learned about it for more than 5 seconds. There are very few Democrats on the left in Congress who support crypto, and that's just the way it is. That shouldn't be the case now. It should be from both parties. Crypto shouldn't be tied to a political party. But hey, politics is politics. That makes sense to me. When you look at that, you might ask, how the hell is that then? That isn't even. It's possible that this Fair Shake group is actually biased. There's more to the story than that, but I can't say for sure which way it goes because of how much money was spent against both Democrats and Republicans. When you take that into account, you can see that a lot more money, almost twice as much, was spent on things that would help the Republicans.